There's something that I've been noticing a lot lately, and it's more present today than it's ever been before. When I meet business owners, I often get impressed with the kind of network they have, right? I see that they believe that they've got a very valuable network. In the conversations, it often comes out that they tell me they're part of some amazing platforms, they go to some pretty solid events, they are in the proximity of the right kind of people, right? They are hosting events, bringing people together, and they've got amazing names in their phone book as well. And it's hard to not really get impressed with that. But then when you look closer, you realize something is missing, because when we go back to the business isn't making the kind of progress that it should be making given this kind of network backing them. They're not going through those orbital shifts that their network is supposed to produce for them. And those kind of events, life-changing events that should be happening for them, are not really happening. The potential of people and their progress is not matching. And that's the gap out there. A lot of business owners think that having contacts is equal to having network. Contacts are just that, contacts. They're a list of names. But a network, when it's real, it creates movement. The interesting part is how dramatically things have changed. Think about it. 15, 20 years ago, it was so difficult to reach somebody who was influential, somebody who was powerful. You had to know a gatekeeper who could make an introduction for you. There had to be someone who trusted both sides equally to make that possible. And being in proximity, being in the same room with such people was nearly impossible because most rooms were closed. But let's fast forward to today. Look at how things are. Today, you can reach pretty much anyone on LinkedIn. There are WhatsApp groups where amazing people are active. You can connect with them. There is one or the other conference happening every single day where the right kind of people are showing up. There are founder circles that are popping up everywhere. It has never been easier to reach people. All of a sudden, reaching people that were extremely difficult to reach at one point in time is just no longer the problem. Access today is everywhere, and that's the paradox. Anytime something becomes abundant, it loses its advantage. Right? Now, business owners are thinking that because they have access, they are networking, whereas access no longer has the leverage that it used to at one point in time because it is no longer rare now. They're not even realizing that access is no longer the game, and the game has completely shifted. So if access is no longer the advantage, then what is? This is where something that I call network architecture, or architecting your network, becomes important. To understand what that is, let's look at first how things are today. Most business owners meet good people, they exchange numbers, connect on LinkedIn, and then maybe, just maybe, have a coffee once. And after that, that relationship just exists. Nothing is structured. Powerful networks don't operate randomly. They follow progression. First, someone is a contact, and then you activate that contact, and then comes an architecture. And at the level of architecture, things get interesting. But what exactly is the meaning of architecture? Architecting your network means looking at your relationships with intentionality. It is when you start to see patterns in your network. You start to see, hey, here are these two people that should probably know each other. You're able to identify potential collaborations. You're able to see where the opportunities might emerge. And when you do this, all of a sudden, your network stops being a set of loose connections and it starts to take shape and form. When you do this, it's almost like having a system. Your networking starts to have a system, and it is the system that creates leverage. But the problem is, most business owners never reach this stage. They stop at contacts, and because of that, their network never really compounds. And the real issue that is there today is that you don't have a weak network. You just have an unstructured one. Think of your own network for a minute. Think about all the business people that you have met, all the prospects that you've had interactions with or conversations with, every influential person that you have engaged in a conversation, every single of those relationships have some kind of potential. But that potential just sits there because there's nothing activating that potential, because there is no structure, no architecture. Those relationships are just existing. There are those occasional conversations that you have, those WhatsApp messages, happy birthday, happy Diwali, etc. Or you bump into them at events and you ask, hey, how are you doing? How things been, etc. But there's no strategic intent behind those interactions. And because of that, today, potentially you have a very valuable network, an extremely valuable network. You're sitting on top of it and probably not even realizing. The kind of network that could be creating amazing introductions for you. It could be creating collaboration opportunities. It could be creating leverage, those orbital shifts for you. But none of that is happening. And that is why I say this a lot, that your existing network is probably one of your most valuable asset, but the way we're treating it, the mistake that most people make is they think they need more access. They think they need to meet more people, they need to attend more events and maybe join more platforms. The problem today isn't access, because people today, you today, probably already have enough of it. The real issue here is structure. Because success, because leverage doesn't come from just knowing more people. It actually comes from knowing how to structure the relationships that you already have. And when you start looking at networking that way, something very profoundly changes. Networking stops being a social activity and it starts being a strategy. And next week, folks, I want to talk about something even more uncomfortable, which is why some people in a very short span of time, in a year, 2 year time, are able to build very powerful, high value networks and are able to leverage them, while so many others spend decades trying to build those kind of networks. And even if they get access to those kind of networks, are not able to create real leverage from it. Because the difference isn't luck, it's something else.